In a world ravaged by movie studios that keep rehashing the same things, only one podcaster has the guts to make it even worse. Join Mike the Hobbit as he traverses the internet to bring you some of the best and worst ideas for reboots, remakes, and reimaginings of some of your favorite and least favorite TV and film properties. Ideas like a John Waters He-Man movie, Fantastic Four the musical, and Aliens, done entirely with marionettes. What podcast would bring this evil upon the world? This is Smack My Pitch Up. Available anywhere you get your podcasts.
The views and opinions expressed on Geekfather are those of the panelists and not those of the Geeks Under the Influence Network, their affiliates, or sponsors. Listener discretion is advised. This is for the parents and not for the kiddies.
Geekfire!
Can you try one more time? Say no. Geekfather real loud.
Geekfire way loud! I just did it.
Hey guys, welcome back. That's right, if you're hearing this lovely voice of something, I don't even know what to say on that comment. Guys, it's a brand new episode. It's a whole crazy new week here on the Geekfathers. That's right, I'm Scotty P here with my homie, Kyle Smash.
What is up?
What's happening, my man?
I mean, there's a lot going on, but
true. We
staying pretty steady in the Smash household.
Yep, same here with the Preston household. Of course, guys, welcome back to a new episode. Thank you for all listening, of course. Brand new trials and tribulations of being a geeky parent for sure happening. Very serious episode that we dropped last time. So thank you very much for anybody. You know, you don't even have to tell us you've done anything. If you've included yourself with helping out Team Kimber or anything else that we were able to mention on the last episode, I'll say thank you right now. And that's something that continually happens, and I mean, we could probably make a whole separate show, unfortunately, about that, but that's way too serious all the time, and enough people have enough going on. So
well, then you go into Smash Talk territory.
Basically, yeah, it gets
talking
deep
about real
Smash
shit
Talk
all the time and gets sad or angry.
Exactly. But
the
guys,
world's already angry enough.
Shit, yeah. Well, parenting just makes you angry half the time, anyways. But guys, thank you very much for anybody who was able to do that. I will probably I was putting some stuff together earlier, and I'll probably still post links. So if you go into the episodes and everything, you need that link. I'll at least try to include some hashtags, stuff like that as good reminders. If you're just, like me, you just can't always do it right then and there. You got to wait a week or two depending on paychecks and stuff like that. Especially, we're still quarantined, technically, so.
Yeah.
But
when you get the chance, all the hash browns will come out.
All the hash browns will come out?
I mean, that. Hashtags. Oh, I'm out of the loop.
Wow.
That's what the... Yeah.
Is that your old man moment? We don't even have old man tangents anymore. We just have old man moments.
Yeah, just old man moments.
And you're
damn kids and their hash browns.
Dude, you're younger than me and you're pulling this shit. Come on.
I don't have I don't have to tell the kids to get off my lawn or anything yet. I don't feel the urge to.
Well, part of my lawn is also a big ditch before you can actually technically get on my lawn, so I do have a moat, technically, I guess you could say.
You kind of do, especially when it rains heavy.
Yeah, and the county doesn't know how to dig out the ditch.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you got to go Family Guy, like that, like total Geekfather style, and put it like a drawbridge right out front. Just one that sits in the front door, and then you drop it. But you don't want someone to come in or knock on the door, you lift it.
Too much work.
Go away underneath.
Too much work, man. I got enough going on,
like
man.
A weekend and some wood and some nails and like a chain or two.
Well, you know how I like to use my wood on the weekends.
Oh, you got 2 kids. I think we all know.
That's right. Oh, hey. Anyways, but guys, actually, I was gonna bring up too. I think definitely some good news that's been happening. Seeing a lot more of people we know, and you've got number 1. I've only had to get 1, but we've been vaccinated technically. Yay!
Yeah. My second one is soon, so that's not too shabby. I'm pretty happy about that. My mom actually has received both of hers.
Good.
Her and my stepdad. So, it's
Yeah, both of my parents same way. So
yeah,
yep.
which is great. Now it's like, at least after like a week and a half, go over there and just be, completely okay. Be like, we went out to dinner the night before, but we're fine.
Right,
we can go see this person
completely lax, but able to feel more comfortable.
Sure, yeah, you got to follow the rules. Still, we're not out of this yet. It's going to take a little while, even with the vaccines, because there's a lot of people who just refuse or stay ignorant on the issue or whatever the case may be.
True.
Unfortunately, there's still a lot of those people out there. And
the vaccine is not a cure-all, people.
No,
still got to do a mask. Still got to wash them hands. Come on.
Right. Yeah, you got to wash your hands. You got to wear your fucking mask. You have to maintain.
Exactly.
It took us long enough to get here. We wouldn't have taken this long if we had been on the ground, maintaining from the start and trying to keep this thing in check. But that's where it is, and where we are now is just to kind of hopefully go out there and get vaccinated, but play it smart for a little while. Play it by the rules. And then things, once the numbers go down and we can get a little bit of herd immunity in there, or hopefully we just basically get herd immunity, even amongst a younger crowd, we can really go back to, I don't want to say normal, hopefully a better future.
Well, I've always preferred the term new normal because it will never go back exactly the way it was.
Mm-mm.
There will always be something different. People will be in a different mindset on some level.
Oh, I bet you.
And that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing.
No, it's not. But so many of us are in a different mindset. Many of us. This pandemic, if it hasn't made you question or kind of look at yourself or look at the world, and just really, some people may have dug in deeper to whatever they were already into, but others may have broken free from things, keeping them chained down or keeping them down on, and some people didn't, but whatever the case is, it's changed all of our perspectives, I hope.
Yes. Hopefully so.
No one comes out of this the exact same person as when they came out.
Yeah, exactly. And we're hopefully we're all just better people for it in general.
Mm-hmm.
There's assholes out there. I'm just going to say there's assholes because we're already old man tangent on this thing, and we should, we've had over a year to talk about this fucking pandemic shit. So we still have to preach it every so often. We still have to preach it. And I'm stoked because it's vaccinated. Mm-hmm. People we know are getting vaccinated. People are at least doing the right thing. And we're all on the same page.
You want positive? I heard that soon, hopefully within the next month and a half to 2 months. And I know a friend of ours who would be several who would be impacted by this, is the theaters will be opening back up.
Yes.
And I cannot tell you the excitement that I felt.
Well, local theaters. Technically, there's some theaters that are already open. It's just local.
Scattered. Yeah. For us, for local.
The bigger cities have openings.
Yeah. I love the movie theater, but I don't have I'm not going to, especially during all this drive, 100 miles or something to go see a movie that I can see on HBO Max.
Exactly. Exactly.
But it's the experience. I think around us, there's a few. Cinebistro, Bowtie. I think they still have theirs, but it's, for the most part, we don't really have it.
Yeah, and everybody knows that it's F.U. Hunter, and I know he definitely made some certain sacrifices, and but he made sure that the roof stayed over their heads with the kids, him and Charlotte and everything. And the worst part about it is that they've bumped it out like at least three main times on him when he's been expecting to go back to work. And then, like, within a week or even less, that's when they kick it out from under him, going, no, we've got to push it back and do all this stuff.
Yeah,
so that's the hard part.
It's always in the 11th hour that,
right.
They pull the rug from under you, or they give you some sort of different set of directives or what's going to be happening. Regardless, whatever the job that you're in, it always seems to be the 11th hour.
Exactly.
People are just kind of like that.
Yeah.
Even us Geekfathers. I know I've definitely waited till the last fucking moment to
Well, that's even why, for anybody listening, if you have any idea on how our timetable works here, we're 1 day away from release, basically, just because the way our schedules are, which we've done plenty of times. You know, it's definitely not an issue, but it was definitely a messaging of Smash and I back and forth of me definitely going, oops, it's like this day of the week. Shouldn't we be recording a new episode to release later this week? Yes, yeah, we probably should get on that. You know, it happens.
Hey, that's the geek father life, man. You know,
Basically.
if it was easy, it may not be worth doing.
True.
We may not love it as much. We do this out of passion. You know, that's the whole point.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly. I
everything,
mean,
passion.
so many times, very easily, we could have just sat there and been like, we ain't gonna worry about it. It's quarantine bullshit. I ain't gonna worry about an episode. No, let's do something, even if it's just a quick mini on me ranting for 10 minutes like I did in the old days of Geek Father. You know, it's at least it's something we're keeping the product alive, if you will. You know.
Yeah. Well,
so,
you hope so.
trying.
I know our fucking mugs are only holding so much of the weight on our logo.
Oh, dude,
Some sexy bitches though.
It is. There's a lot of shine to it. If it was, you know, if it was a realistic portrait, there would be so much shine happening in that picture. But yeah, actually, you know, I've even got to go back and I meant to check this earlier today, and I'm gonna be mad. Well, not mad, but just sort of, ooh, he didn't do it yet. Of type attitude is I need to make sure we've got the new logo up with our friends at T Public. Well, let's go ahead and get some of the advertising stuff out of the way now.
We'll get our mugs out there.
Yeah, definitely, because I know that the original one is still up with just my face, and let me make sure here. I'm on T Public right now I clicked on that great link at gypodcast.com, of course.
There's a lot of great links up there.
There is.
We actually just, I just, with the boys, I just finished recording not too long ago, was the flagship GUI episode on the Zack Snyder cut. That was a blast.
Yes. Cannot wait for that one.
I always miss, you know, I love seeing your fucking mug once a week and talking to you. But I miss the other guys as well, so it was good.
Exactly.
It was good to do that, even if it was virtual. But the day that we're all like in the same room and we're able to, you know, really vibe off of it,
Yep.
it's gonna be a good day.
Oh yeah.
Might be a shit show.
I haven't even done a group one in quite a while. Oh, I've got what do we got? A request for is this the PIN number? The parental control right here. This is how you have true power in a house. There's a PIN number to access most of the streaming apps on the TV.
Oh yeah,
So-
I have a PIN number on everything. Her laptop, my kid's laptop, tablet, whatever. If there's a TV, like it's all got passwords.
Oh yeah. So bear with me here. Hold on. Does someone want to say hi? No, he's
No.
playing basketball guy. Did I get
to
it?
our listeners, constant interruption, and if you're a parent, you know, constant interruption is just the name of the game. If you're trying to do something, you can almost bet you're going to be interrupted if your kid's around. And my kids proof point to that because several times we've recorded, she'll pop on in and be like, "Hey,
Oh yeah,
I don't give a fuck what you're doing."
exactly.
You know, hey, and you know, it's adorable.
Because
Yeah,
very
but it's-
easily, my wife is in the other room, or one of the other rooms of the house. Guess who still has to enter in the pin and make sure it's all good?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Hey, as I said, that's the name of the game. That's
yeah,
what you signed
very
up
true.
for.
Very true. And it does look like, I'm assuming the Snyder Cut episode will actually be released. Well, it could be.
I think
He
it's
may be
released
releasing this Friday. The same with us, because I see
think
it's
he's
been about
releasing this
2
week.
weeks when they did when Flagship did the WandaVision episode. Is what I'm seeing.
Ooh, WandaVision. You know, I'll tell you, from a geek father perspective, sitting down with the kid and watching some of those new shows coming out and experiencing them together.
Yeah.
You know, because when the Marvel thing, I know yours as well as mine, we're too young or maybe not even born yet. And it's so cool to sit down and watch like Falcon and the Winter Soldier and watch WandaVision, and they're just like
They haven't kept the interest with Falcon and Winter Soldier as much because I think so far, I mean, there is some action with that one, but
Right.
there's not. It's more of the politics talk for that show so far.
I guess. I mean, they have plenty of action. I mean, they're
but not condensed enough to keep my kids' attention.
Yeah. WandaVision was just weird enough and had that sort of first 2 episodes that really, like, even my kid was like, even if she didn't like it, she didn't know she didn't like it. She just didn't know, so she stayed focused on it.
Right. Exactly.
You know? Then it was like
still stuff happening. It wasn't just 2 people talking. You know what I mean? And that's more so what I mean is that it's not even necessarily the action; it's what's happening. And if all you got is 2 guys and they know it's Marvel, and like Logan will be like, "Well, where's Hulk?" Or else, if there's no Hulk, there's why am I watching this? You know, he'll get in that weird mindset sometimes. So
that's the difference between I think that in some aspects from a kid level, what you're tagged with or how you're born, boy or girl, mentality wise, in terms of what they're watching. Can be I've noticed, at least with my daughter, that when we're watching something, Captain America's great, Iron Man's badass, Hulk and all that, she gets really excited over the strong female characters, which is is great. I love strong women, and I think I think that's really great. She'll get up and she's just like, she just wants to be them, like even in Stranger Things, she wanted to be 11. So when you watch it, like Wanda, she wanted to be Wanda. She thought Agatha was cool as shit, but she wanted to be Wanda.
Even though she's a villain,
the most powerful.
But she's got the power there to like do some stuff. No,
but she had the heart. She had a good heart.
Exactly. Logan loved Captain Marvel.
To identify with.
Logan loves Captain Marvel as well. That was one that he was all about. He loved her. And actually, I'm going to make that a good segue into. Unfortunately, we weren't able to record anything with it. We're even recording technically after, but there should be a shout out because we both have friends, family, and everything. So just a great love and nod to the Transgender Visibility Day that happened this past Wednesday.
Absolutely.
For everybody, if you don't know, let me just say GUI in general is if you need. I hate this term just because it's been so ragged on, but it's a safe place, really. If you need someone to reach out to, you need someone to, whether it's to vent or if you really do, like if you're in legitimate danger, my door is open to you.
Absolutely.
And I don't, as far as I know with anybody else in GUI, I can safely say that they're the same for everyone. You know?
100%.
So
the important thing is that we are human advocates.
Yes,
human. I'm animal advocate too, but in this particular sense, we just want to cover the bases. But in this particular sense, we're human advocates because that's exactly what we are. It doesn't really matter anything else. Everything else is just a category or a specific description. What is important, we're human. As Geekfathers or as geeks or whatever, we grew up loving comic books and the strong. Hopefully, for some, maybe they love the villain. Maybe they identified more with the Joker or something. But for a lot of functioning within the world and within society, always latched onto the hero.
Yeah.
Because it didn't matter. It didn't matter. It didn't matter who you were, where you were, what you had, didn't have. They were going to save you the same.
Exactly.
And that's and that's something that you always take from it.
Let me even throw out there because I thought about it this week. I happened to come across a couple episodes watching The Next Generation because it's my show, one of those shows that I've seen a million times so I can watch it when I'm going to bed or doing whatever, whether it's background noise.
Show if I ever heard one, watched one.
Yeah. Yeah, so, but one thing that really clicked and then realizing, Transgender Visibility Day, recognizing anybody non-binary, gender fluid, however it may be, I really sat there and this past week or so really came across a couple of those episodes where it was just like, they may not have always done it correctly because of just the time and the available information, so to say. The Next Generation, I know Deep Space Nine, and I want to say even Voyager are the 3 main shows in the Star Trek type universe that really had episodes or story arcs that concentrated on just non-gender type races and really brought it to light.
Asexual races.
Or asexual, however you want to put it. Same thing,
I think
in
those
a way.
terms, they dealt with beings from all across the, universe.
Right.
Pretty much, so, they're going to, it didn't, some may have been, two different sexes, or specifically asexual. It didn't matter.
Right.
They signed up, let's be allies. Let's learn.
Well, and that's the whole thing. And the great thing is that all of them, especially the next generation ones, really do put a learning curve on it, because even one of the good guys where they're sitting there going, no, it has to be this way, and there's always going to be argument on how things are done, but the whole point of being, no, this is the way it is, this is the way we are. Why are you trying to fight it in any form? That's the whole thing. And it was just really good timing, I guess is what I'm really trying to say, to really recognize everybody who's out there. So again,
learn from one
cheers.
another.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Learn. Cheers. I know pronouns. We have plenty of loved ones that use different pronouns and everything. I'll be the first to admit, I'm horrible about trying to remember that stuff. I try to be so good about it, and I apologize.
The thing is that the thing is that I'm the same way, but I'm and my first natural inclination would be to apologize for it. And the thing is that teach me. I am more than willing to learn, and I'm more than willing to evolve. So if I don't know, I am totally fine with you teaching me. So in that sense, it's like I get it. If I didn't say it right, so what's the right way? Because
nobody has, as far as I know, has ever gotten mad. I've definitely been corrected, which is fine, but it's I'm harder on myself about it than anything else, because I'm just like, oh shit, I'm trying to do this right.
Me too.
But you creature of habit here, for everything. If I've done it 3 times and I'm trying to do it that 4th time differently, I'm gonna mess it up. That's just me. But I know, in my mind, I know, and I think what I can.
I think that if you're around the right people, they're gonna, regardless, they're gonna see, they're gonna be like, well, hey, they're decent people, and it doesn't matter, regardless of what side you're on. It's like, good is good. If you're a decent person, you're gonna hopefully attract more decent people. Yeah. Regardless of what walk of life you're from.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's why I say I'm harder on myself than anything else. I'll sit there and talk about how I messed it up, but they'll be like, you did, but it doesn't, let it go. You messed it up. It's not like you were doing it on purpose. It's like,
right.
But I'm sitting there like kicking myself in the ass going, get it right, motherfucker. And it just, And I know it's, what's right, what's respectful, but again, that's my old main tangent for the whole thing.
When you get to the point where you are happy with you, regardless of who you are, and then you take that out into the world, and I will completely steal from Cobra Kai, because there's a episode where Danny LaRusso goes back to Japan, and one of the lines that Kamiko, or whatever his love interest in Karate Kid 2, just says, read something, and it basically says, if you put good out into the world, good will come back into you.
Right.
And that could be very true. I mean, as long as you're a decent person out, decency will come back, and then you make bridges everywhere you go.
Exactly.
Instead of burning them.
Yeah. And of course, what we instill in the kids as well is just be good humans. Just... Yeah.
And that's why we have them watch some of the things we do as Geekfathers. That's like our biggest deal, is to have them experience some of the things that helped us become us.
Right.
That's, this did help shape us. Goonies helped shape me. Like, Monster Squad did help shape me, regardless of context within the movie.
Doctor Who.
That was your shape? Dude, that's a good one. That's a good one to have.
It is, because... Even more recently, the most recent Doctor being the whole take on people being angry about the Doctor turning into a female type body. It's a alien creature that changes shape, personalities. Why would I mean, I honestly, at that point, like the way they've run with it, as long as it's done properly, give us a non-human looking doctor. I mean, that's just
cool.
Yeah. I mean, but that's just what they've made the Gallifreyans race are humanoid, if you will. If we're going to try to use any proper term, I hope I am. But that was my thought process, and the way people got so angry about it, it was like, why are you just trying to throw logic out the door? Mm-hmm. That's absurd.
Do you have TV show? Because there's a specific TV show, and not movie, but TV show that I've been watching with my kid for a while now. We call it the Goldbergs, and for me, it's set in Philly in
Love
the 80s.
the Goldbergs.
Yeah, and
we
it's been
watched
around
the
for a long
Goldbergs.
time, but I actually caught on to it very late. I caught on to it like 5 seasons in, and
wow.
I think I'd known about it, but I didn't have.
Oh, you've had to know. I've brought up that show randomly because we watched it since day one.
Well, kind of sometimes you hear that and it goes either sticks and you go for it, or it's somewhere in your memory banks. But for me, it was like I'd heard the name and then I started watching it. But when I started watching with my daughter, I'd say about when this pandemic thing started, we kind of seen a few episodes here and then, and I wanted to share that because I was like, this wasn't specifically my childhood, but there's a lot of aspects in there that help shape me. And there's a lot of things that this show does specifically go into as to how it shaped the main character of the show. And they even throw like the word nards in, which is, in Monster Squad. And the director himself was in a Monster Squad documentary and said, the writer-director said that, Adam F. Goldberg, he's like, that was a huge, I love that movie. That's a huge part of my life. But Goonies and all that. So when we watch it together and she's seen some of these movies, except for Monster Squad, she flips out. She gets so excited because she's in it with me. But the end
reference
message at the
is there. The reference
reference is there. So it helps shape you. And then by the end of the episode, they give you, not this wholesome, this very early sort of wholesome content about family or not being selfish and learning how to do this and do that and show that and just kind of these really good values. So you go through this episode going, I fucking hopefully you're not yelling fuck around your kid all the time.
Well,
but it happens.
Mentally, you're yelling this out. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when I watched this movie for the first time. I remember when I saw that show.
Yeah.
And I had that toy. And she's just like, really? And she looks at me like, I'm getting to know you so much. Like, this is what helped shape my father. And then so she feeds it. It's just such a cool geek father moment, And
I make fun, and I even make fun of Jennifer that she's going to end up like Beverly Goldberg. The way she
giving all the snoopies and
the schmoopies and schloopies and the way she gets so like protective, like she the big joke, of course, in the later seasons are her showing up to like how constant she shows up to like the school and other places to be like
always in their life so much that
it's too much. It really is, and I'm just like, oh, that's you, because she has shown signs of Beverly Goldberg, but is not Beverly Goldberg. But I sit there, I go, you realize you did something like that just the other day. She's like, shut up, don't you dare.
Like I grew up with my mom's like that, and we're from Philly, and we weren't. I was born in Bucks County, which is not a little farther south, I think, than the show is set in,
right?
Which is Jenkintown. So, it's funny because my mom, she used to, but even sometimes I say it, but she's got sort of that accent. My aunts, all my family definitely has that sort of that accent, and they all
nice. And
I went through that similar time period with those people. So when I see these things, I mean, Wawa is a huge fixture of the show. That's like, if there's a heroine for me, it's Wawa. Like a store.
Fair,
like
fair.
I am there all the time. So,
hold on, I've got a little one now. What's up? You want a cheese stick?
Yeah.
You can say hi to Kyle.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, buddy.
He says hi, buddy.
Hi, baby.
Hi, buddy.
Hi, buddy.
There's
your cheese stick.
How about a cheese stick?
He's got a cheese
I
stick.
see that.
Say, see you later.
Get that cheese stick, dude. Get it.
That's right. Man, you want to talk about it. His heroin? Cheese sticks. No joke.
Is that his thing?
No joke at all. Can you close the door, please? Maybe he.
Yeah.
Well, he
For the
kind of
listeners
closed
out
it.
there,
Hold on
this
here.
is just everyday life.
And number 2, apparently it's my kids tonight. I'm waiting for
Well,
yours
mine's
to
not
butt-
here, so by default, it would have to be.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I was about to say, normally it's yours busting in trying to say hi or tell you a story or something, so...
Yeah,
All right.
we're gonna work on a little we're gonna work on a little thing ourselves, just a little like 10-minute, 15-minute episode, just for her to just lay her imagination out there, and for me to talk to her, and hey, we can spin it off of Geekfathers, and it could just be one of my little minis.
We've talked about involving the kids more, and it's like the whole thing is that like Logan, and I've mentioned it before, Logan is my shy guy, so I was lucky enough to get the intro like out of him at one point, even a few years ago. Leland, on the other hand, who my little cheese stick addict who just dropped in, he'll probably sit here. I don't know if you'll be able to understand him half the time, but he'll blah blah blah. he'll run this conversation himself. He doesn't need anybody to talk to. He'll talk to himself if need be. So
that's amazing how that happens.
Oh, it's crazy.
The different personalities that arise. I mean, I've got one, so I don't get to see it, but I grew up with 2 older brothers, so I understand the dichotomy there.
Oh, yeah, and it's one of those weird things where, I mean, and of course this can change, but so far, and this is based on no influence from us other than genetics, is that Logan looks more like me, but has more of Jennifer's personality. But it's the other way around with Leland, where he looks more like Jennifer, but has more of my personality. As you could just tell as they came in. Jennifer's not the most social one. She loves all of our friends and family, but she's just not the social person. That's Logan, who didn't say a word. Leland, on the other hand, hey, look, I've got a cheese stick, blah, blah, and I'll talk your ear off if I'm comfortable with you. So it's... there you go, right there. Perfect example.
See, now you got to have the third one, which then we'll have a half and half mix of you and her in terms of personality.
Let me put it this way: if she gets
ones.
pregnant at this point, we're gonna have to have an even more serious talk about that. I am snipped, sir. Remember?
Hey, that can
be reversed.
I mean, you're in the 90th percent, I think, in terms of like effectiveness, or 95, but.
Well, I've had it for a few years now. I got it before Leland was even a year old.
Ouch. I guess.
No, it's
just the thought of that from
Bro, 3 days of an ice pack, cuddling my nether regions, and playing video games. I'm good. That was a great weekend as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, yeah. Well... that's more power to you, I guess, if you had another one. I mean, I think I'm still open to it, so I haven't snipped yet, so we'll see.
You're also in a different situation as well, so that's
different. Yeah. Completely different situation, but at the same time, it's still I'm still not getting any younger. I'll tell you that much.
Hey, bro, you gotta do what you gotta do. I mean, I've got other friends in similar situations as well, but they're whatever their decision is, they make jokes and stuff and certain things, but your decision is your decision, so...
Well, I've thought about adopting.
Yeah.
Which is, I firmly believe, that if especially more people out there, if they wanted to have kids and always, instead of trying in vitro, I understand, that sort of primal need to want it to be your offspring,
Yeah.
I get that, but there's a lot of kids out there that need a home, so I am a big believer in that. So that's always on the table, at least for me personally. Hopefully for more people out there who want to do good by the children, don't have any nefarious purposes.
Right. I mean, and it's one of those things too, where depending on the person, because I know of some where you can recommend adoption, and some people are like, don't say that to certain people, and I was just like, well, it's a conversation. It's not like I'm pushing it. It's just like someone who's newly married, and I'm using these examples on weird levels, but it's how you approach somebody is basically what I'm getting at. When someone's newly married, and everybody bugs them, are you going to have a kid? When are the kids coming? No, I may ask you if you're going to have kids. That's not me pushing for you to have the children. Same with anybody who may not physically be able to have children and want to. I ask, have you thought about adopting or fostering or anything? I know they are smart enough people that they know those options are out there. I'm just picking somebody's brain. And anybody I know of that I've talked to about that, it's the people that push on it, going, well, you should be doing this, or you could be doing this.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Do better. Here are the statistics. Like,
right.
Fuck yourself.
Like, I saw some article about, what was it? Oh, I want to say in her 50s, almost 60 years old, a woman who gave birth. There are so many people that disagree with that. I'm just like, well, if it happens, it happens. I mean, science is far enough. Yeah, you're going to have more difficulties and certain things that could happen that wouldn't happen with, say, a 25-year-old.
Right.
But if that's the way things work out for you, more power to you. Do what you got to do, I mean, that's...
Hey, how old was she?
57, I want to say.
I mean, that's still pretty impressive because haven't you more or less hit should hit the menopause mark?
Possibly. I don't know when that. I don't know.
I'm sure it's different for every woman. But
right. Any average age has changed so much. Since the last time I actually researched information on certain biology subjects, that
do better. Read the statistics.
Right. Let me pull up Google. No.
Yeah, we're gonna Geekfather Google that shit.
No.
We're gonna.
I'll use the shit out of Google, but I'm not trying to find the facts. No, no.
That should be on its shirt. I'd love to Google, but I'm not.
But I don't want to find the facts.
You're just trying to look up you're trying to look up actress name nude.
Yeah, nudes and basically the only facts I want is who starred in what movie to win an argument.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all I want.
What actor or actress is this age? Were they in this movie?
Are they dead? Are they dead yet?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
That's totally, I tell you, especially as a geeky person myself, and as a geek father, and as I'm sitting, if I'm doing things, I'm always researching stuff like that. Just even in my own head, who the fuck is that? And then I go and I Google that shit, and I'm like, okay, right. That's shit. They're only 2 years older than me. Fuck. What did I do?
Man, we have totally hit that age, especially with some of the stuff, because Leland has gotten into SpongeBob SquarePants, so you go back and realize who some of those people were involved with that, and to where you see them now, and to oh shit, I saw them that way long after a show or whatever. We're totally hitting that age, or closer, in that range of where just more and more people are just oh man, they're either dying or you're realizing their true age, because most TV shows and movies, nobody plays their actual age 99% of the time. Right. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, wait a minute. Weren't they a teenager? I was in my 20s. They were playing a teenager on TV, but they're only 6 months younger than me. Yeah. What the hell is going on? Yeah, it's Hollywood, man.
Yeah, that's how it happens, man. You hire a 25-year-old to play a 17-year-old as long as they can look the part.
Exactly. Well, yeah, that's the whole thing. Take it who is it? The guy who played Oliver Queen in Smallville. And the way he's on This Is Us, I think he's younger than me, but older than you, with the age gap that you and I have or something.
Yeah.
It's something weird like that. Yeah, but based on...
I think he's 40.
Yeah, but based on that show, I was just I thought he was older than me. Honestly, that was one of those things, because it was just he was playing an adult already on Smallville, and I know you can be youngish looking, but it was just my age perception was totally blown off by him. So,
well, makeup and movie magic. I mean, you can do the same thing on your phone, with a filter.
oh, true.
And make yourself take away the wrinkles and things like that. But I think probably as a specimen, he's better than us. But
oh, he is definitely way more healthy than we are, for sure.
I mean, I'm sure a lot of actors are.
Yeah, they can also afford the personal trainer, the personal chef.
Yeah,
certain things, Yeah, so it's
that
it's
personal chef
different.
in the house to make sure you're eating just the right amount of carbs.
Exactly. Portion control, sir. Portion control.
Yeah, you're not getting up every 5 minutes and go and grab a fucking ho-ho. Or just bring the box to the couch.
Why do I feel like you're trying to call me out, man? Why are you trying to call me out?
Yeah, it's funny because like being, and strictly from the father side, like being a father sometimes just means stress eating. Like sometimes you just eat. You don't even know you're eating until you go, oh my God, all this fucking food is in my mouth, and you have to have some water.
Right.
But instead of getting water, the first thing you see is like a soda, and you're just like, that sounds better. And then before you know it, you're walking up the stairs and your heart's beating out of your chest. And you're like, why am I so tired?
That's part of the reason why I didn't argue with my wife when she wanted a one story when we bought the house.
I don't blame you.
Oh, a rancher? No, we'll take the rancher. No fucking steps. That's cool with me. I'm good with that. Hell yeah.
Especially when you're moving.
Oh.
When you're moving shit.
Yeah.
One floor is priceless. You can't beat it.
And let me tell you, hopefully it should be the last experience we should have is moving with Logan wasn't even a year old, man. He was like 7 months maybe. Moving with a 7-month-old baby. No. That I never want to do anything like that again. Never, ever, 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 ever.
I don't
ever.
That's enough to take at least another 10 years off. And you're like, fuck.
Right? At least now they're getting old enough that I can tell them to go do something or pack something up to get them out of my way if we were ever to move. But as far as we're concerned, this is our house I'm going to die in this house as far as I'm concerned.
Wait till you get to the point where they can cook their own food, bud. I mean, really cook their own.
True.
My kid makes me breakfast in the morning, like omelets.
Yeah.
And it's fucking good. And I'm like, and then she cleans, and I'm like, oh, this is. I kind of cry a little.
Right.
Mean, it's the joy within me. It's just like, wait, you don't. At the same time, it's a little sadness because I'm like, you don't need me as much.
Yeah.
Fuck. No. Get down. Let me do it.
Right. Well, and man, and this is where. And this is where finding the balance on something like that too, though. Because for Christmas, we got Logan a chef's jacket and some Master Chef Junior cookbook type books and stuff. Mm-hmm. He really hasn't messed with them, but we keep them in sight. Because he also gets like me when it comes down to it. Is the reason why I always had issues with being a line cook and different stuff when I would work random jobs over the years. Is because if I like to cook, I may not be the best cook, I may not be the most elaborate cook, I'll cook something very simple, but I like doing it. But when you're on me, like on my back going, cook it this way and exactly like this and this much time, I totally lose it. So, and I picked up on that with him because he has shown interest in cooking. He helps baking cookies. He can make mac and cheese at almost 7 years old. Very basic steps to start out with, and has shown interest in cooking. But as soon as you try to nudge and give that little extra too much of a nudge, he'll shut down.
So funny. If they don't decide that that's what they want to do at that moment on their own without any help, they don't want to do it.
Exactly.
It's amazing how that works. That's not even just a geek parent or that's a father thing. That's just a parent thing.
Yeah.
That's just like, for sure. As soon they get to an age and then you're so used to helping them with everything and then they don't want your help. But when you're watching them, you're like, hold on one second.
The after effects, and you're just like, we need to work on how you're doing that. Because it's something that everybody does it maybe a little bit differently, but you need to work on the effectiveness for your style. is the way I'm just going to put that in. That can be, take that however you want with whatever type of situation with your kid.
See,
that's all I'm going to say.
Mine's at this point that if I try to give any advice, it is like, can I just, you're just trying to take over, or can I just do this on my own? Like, I don't need you to tell me how to do it. Like, oh, okay. You can do it all on your own. That's fine. And the moment that I tell her, it's like, you're controlling. It's like, It's like a controlling thing. It's like,
one of my favorite lines I've gotten from Logan lately, and he could just be playing a game or doing something, but I'll walk in and be like, hey, what's up? Get out of here. I'm trying to concentrate. Oh, my bad. Sorry, dude. I was just saying hi, and I'll walk away. I mean, because if you still stand there, even if you don't say anything, he's just like, what are you doing? I can't concentrate on my game right now. You're bothering me. Oh, excuse me.
My kid loves, she's definitely going to be an artist because she loves to write. I mean, she's got books filled with songs and stories.
Yeah.
And she writes hers every single day. She writes. And today she was freaking out. She couldn't find her sparkly, like, purple notebook, which is basically all of her stuff, like, that she puts in there. And she's like, she couldn't find it. She's freaking out. And she's just like, where did it go, Dad? It's like, I'm pretty sure I'm not in charge of it, but I remember telling you.
But you're
A,
still
B, and
supposed
C.
to be responsible for it if they can't find it.
Oh yeah, 100%. So then and then I'm like, did you actually look for it? It's like, I mean, it's not here where I'm sitting.
Yeah.
And I go, and I find it. It's sitting right, in her room, and I bring it down, and I'm like, this? You could have taken 5 seconds to go look for it.
Did you move the one blanket that was covering a corner of it to make sure you could see it?
It was sitting out in the open. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. See, that's even worse. I was trying to give the benefit of that because I'm also explaining my children as well of it's right there, and maybe part of it was covered with a blanket or another toy or something weird, but they still couldn't see it. So I don't know.
It's just like, can you get this? I can't find it. It's right fucking there.
Right.
It's right there.
Oh, yeah. Vocally, you say it's right there. In your brain, you're like, use your fucking eyes and open them and view. Oh, yeah. Yeah,
especially if you have pets. Like for mine, it's just like anything that it's asked to be done, somehow the first thing that has to be done is the dog. Yeah. No matter where the dog is in the house. The dog either has to come to her or she goes to the dog before what I've asked needs to be done. And you're like, leave the fucking dog alone. That dog is hiding. It doesn't want to be messed with.
Right.
Just pick up your room.
Yeah, fortunately Logan has Dixie. So they've grown up together. So that is technically his dog. And she has, like, the way he'll try to get out of stuff is that he'll, like, she'll even be laying on the couch or even on the floor. And he's just like, oh, but I need to pet my dog. And he'll go over and just lay down with her and, like, wrap himself around her.
Yeah.
And she's just like, oh, someone's paying attention to me, so she doesn't care. But I'm like, dude, you need to go pick this up, get it off the floor. And he goes, but now I'm tired, and I need to pet Dixie. She needs me to love her.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Dude.
I hear that every day.
Yeah.
Those words exactly.
Yeah.
Aurora needs me to love her. She's sad.
Yes.
Nobody's paying attention to her. I'm like, that fucking dog is fine.
Right.
Go do it.
Yeah. Those little manipulative little.
That's a kid for you. Geek father or not, a parent goes the trials and tribulations of any geek father, or straight parent.
Very true.
They all run parallel. I mean, they do. And I'll tell you with that, should we go into, do you have a epic dad moment story?
Geeky parenting?
You have one tonight?
Yeah, actually, I was thinking it's kind of a combination because I was thinking about what you were saying about Lorelai on the being an artist and stuff. Right now, if I was to call it for Logan, I kid you not, video game programmer. Because not only does he play the games, they actually had a thing this week at school where they worked on actual coding. Like, coding for a
like
computer
STEM
program.
Teaching?
I think so. I had to go back and double check what the program was through their Schoology thing that they use with the county.
STEM is just the It's just like the teaching this methodology for teaching sciences, systems and technology, coding, building robotics, cool shit like that.
I don't remember because again, you're talking about first graders when it comes to Logan. So who knows what they used?
They're using everything.
Yeah, that kid not only figured out what he was doing on his own, he was ahead of everybody. And got bored because he had to wait, because he finished the assignment before it was even done, before it was
that's
given.
Awesome.
So I'm just yeah, take it.
See, there's goods and bads with that. My kid's the same way. She finishes all of her stuff so quickly and then gets bored. So we had to put her in a little more difficult classes, which helped for the most part. But sometimes even from a reading perspective and writing, she still finishes it quickly.
Yeah.
So then she sits there and she writes in her notebook and she writes her songs or stories or she makes something.
Right.
That's completely separate from class. It's and I want to be like, get back to work, but I don't want to stifle any creative energy that's going on at the same time because grades aren't always the most important thing.
And it's always touchy with that because of just knowing the way Logan is first off, and even from personal experience to where when you bump up in certain levels education-wise, but then because you get one thing wrong or you feel like you're stumped on something, they take it as, oh, well, we got to drop you back because of this or, and it's like this vicious cycle of where do we put you? And that's got to be one of the hardest things for any teachers, the teachers I know, especially I hear some stuff where how do you find a level playing field of being able to teach people like these people on so many different plateaus, but you have to teach them the same thing and at the same time, but everybody's learning it at different times and on different levels. You get what I'm saying.
That's why you got to have mad respect for teachers.
Absolutely.
They're doing it with one kid. I can tell you right now, and I'm sure it too. It's through this whole thing has been an eye-opening experience. I mean, I always respected teachers. I'm sure you did too, but you didn't really know to the extent of things. And that's just, one or two you might have in the house, but you have an entire class of 20, 21
or more.
Holy shit.
Right.
Yeah. More power to you. I got mad respect for you. And on that, and I'll tell you, we'll segue if we can to because I have a cool little story. It's a little geeky parent story. It's not so much geeky as it was just a good dad story.
Okay, and I just wanted to throw out there that just keeping on the education kick is where there's definitely been and it's the same type of thing where I was really proud of Logan to where he was in class doing something and the teachers usually allow a fidget type item, like a tiny stuffed animal or just something that they can have in their hands.
Redirect that energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Logan, of course, has something. He needs it. But at least 3 times this past week to where the teacher basically tried to catch him not paying attention, asking him questions, and he answered like a champ.
Nice.
Like the total, those, his teachers, and he's had to do that teacher change since they've allowed some students back in the school and everything. So it's a different teacher than who we started with this year, with this school year. But I hate saying it this way because she's not a bad teacher. She's probably not a bad person. We don't know her as personally. But definitely different, and definitely we don't like her teaching style as much. Mm-hmm. But you always had that teacher of where they didn't want you to be in trouble, but if they could bust you just enough to make an example out of you or something in front of the rest of the class. And it was a couple of those moves that she tried, and he wasn't having. He was just like, here, and laid it down and was like, I got your answer. Yeah. I'm playing with Wolverine. Leave me alone. Yeah. It was, that was his whole mentality. And I'm like, bro, take it. As long as you know what's going on and you're learning, you're doing your thing, I ain't gonna argue with what you're doing. So
those gotcha moments. It's like, no, you don't.
Yeah, I got you. You know.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Total flip the tables. It was nice. It was just good to see that, because I know he has trouble concentrating. The other, noises from the other students with the virtual learning.
Sure.
Right now the class is really bad about it, but he has stayed on top of his stuff. So then that's really where I stand. That's
a good
my
proud
big
parent moment. That's
yeah,
a proud parent moment. Hell, we might just come up with a new. I got a proud parent moment. My kid sang for an assembly virtually. Unexpectedly, and it was assembly with
Well, she's always done like a choir stuff before, right?
No, she's always wanted to. She sings around, but she sings relentlessly. She plays on her keyboard, plays on her guitar, writes songs. But she just it was a virtual assembly, and she sang. And
nice,
and everybody was like, "Great job!" And I could just see the look on her face when she was done, because I sit like 5 feet from her when I'm working. So and I'm listening and I'm watching the whole time, and then she unplugs the earpiece, and I can hear where everybody's like, "What did you do? You train to sing? Where'd you learn to sing?" Like just sort of that stuff, and I'm just like, it's so like just the pride on her face for herself.
Yeah, that's
especially
awesome.
during all of this. It's so good to see those positive moments, like where they really just feel good about themselves, and they're and they're not so drained from the day of thinking like, oh, did I not get all the work done? Did I not catch up to this? Did I not do that? I can't see all the friends I want to see and the family members, but she was just like, in that moment, I could tell that she was just like, that's right, motherfucker.
That's right. Good call, man.
It was a proud daddy moment for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, whether it's geeky parenting, proud parenting, whatever it may be, that's exactly why I wanted to incorporate these type of stories into the show, because no matter what we talk about, man, that we're going to brag on our kids. We're going to brag on the people who are doing good on their kids. To me, it's needed. I think it should be out there,
And I think it's not just from a geeky perspective, from a geek father perspective. We're just a father perspective, but from a parental one.
Sure.
But I do love the stories that come, from the dad perspective. I didn't really grow up with one, so I've always spent my life trying to go the opposite direction of what I learned from mine, which wasn't much. Was just, oh, don't do that. How about you just do this? It's better. You're there for him.
Definitely a different experience.
Yeah, and I read one, and it was a cool little story. It had no names or details specifically. It was just just a story.
Mm-hmm.
Second heard than probably typed online and thrown into a database. But it was really cool, and it was very simple. And it was a child, 6 years old boy, had trouble sleeping, and was having nightmares, and the mom was a little more strict. And was just like, you'll be fine. You need to go to bed,
right.
And the boy's favorite. So the boy's favorite food was also pizza, and which will lead into what the father does. So the boy one day wakes up, and it's like, well, I guess for the child's bedtime at 6, it was probably more like 8:30, 9 o'clock, and they just could not sleep. Had a terrible dream, scared the shit out of him. And the father looks at his son. And he's just like, okay, well, you know what? Let's remove you from the house. Let's just get you out of the house for a moment. Your favorite food's pizza. Surprisingly, he takes him to Pizza Hut. And I mean, this was like, the story was set at a time when the Pizza Hut, you could go in and it was the bomb. Like
the joke memes that you see on Facebook or something about like a good Friday night at Pizza Hut, where they actually had. I remember like the salad buffets and even the pizza buffets that they would have.
I mean, as a kid, I loved that place. Going there with my brothers and my mom, and so that's where he took them, and they spent the whole time there till they closed, and they ate pizza and they played music on the jukebox. And they, ate good food, and they just had a good laugh. And then, and they came home, and the boy went straight to sleep. And it was a very simple moment, because that's what a father does.
Right.
At the all parents, sometimes a mom has to be a mom and dad, but if you have both the parents there, if you're lucky enough to have both sides.
Sure.
From a father's perspective, whether it's your son or your daughter, is protection. Always protection from anything in the world. And I know it's a mom's too, but in those instances like that with the nightmare, like your mom doesn't know. Oh, and then and I almost forgot. The most important part of the story is the mom didn't know they went out for pizza. She had already went to bed, so he didn't tell her.
Oh man,
because the boy wasn't allowed to eat pizza or eat it after a certain time, or only allowed to eat it like. So the father didn't tell the mom, and they went out and did it, and they never told the mom.
Yeah,
and it was told from the perspective of the kid as an adult. So it was like that always stuck with them. That was just our little secret thing that helped me, and it was such a cool little parent-father moment. I was like, that stuck in my head. So, to all the fathers out there that will take their kids to, well, I guess Wawa or, whatever late night pizza place, but
whatever
at that
it may
time,
be,
Pizza Hut, just to keep their kid from feeling fear for 1 minute and just to feel some sort of joy. Be there with their dad, eating their favorite thing for an hour, playing music on the jukebox was, is the epitome to me of what it means to be a good dad.
For sure. And on that note, that's a great high note I think we're going to end the episode on this week. One thing we really didn't cover, which is no big deal. It's hard to do, but by the time this episode releases, everybody will be going on spring break, or at least all the kiddies will be. So guys, hopefully, just with spring break, try to find something to do if you guys can, of course, while still being safe. The social distancing, whatever it may be, wear the mask, wash the hands. Yeah. It's going to be hard, but definitely I know the kids, especially the ones in school and everything, definitely deserve, exactly like you were saying, actually a really great segue from that story is the kids need a break. They have adapted, at least from my children to what I've seen of friends, Smash in your house, the way these kids have adapted and gone through this past school year, they deserve a break. They deserve all the props for doing such a killer job on everything. So hopefully everybody will be enjoying your spring break. If it's your thing, have a great Easter, the Passover, Good Friday, all that type of stuff. I'm not a judge on what you do there. So Logan is expecting, he knows he gets candy and hopefully a big egg like he got a couple years ago. He loves doing the egg hunt. That whole joke of he can't find a shoe sitting in the middle of the floor, but he'll go out in the yard for a half an hour and find eggs, no problem. Whatever. So, but guys, when you listen to this, it'll be going right into the holiday spring break time. So please enjoy yourself, whatever you may do. I know there's certain things opening back up, like we mentioned at the beginning, especially once you've been vaccinated. It helps, but follow any safety ways you can with
follow
this.
The CDC guidelines. Be smart.
Yes.
And don't be a dick about it.
Basically.
And if you're not gonna wear a mask, don't go around everybody and put anyone at risk. Like, just if you're gonna feel that way, just stay home. At least during spring break, it's a good surge time. So be smart.
Yeah, parks will be open up a little bit more. Certain things that people may have kind of gone to will definitely be a little bit more.
Right. And we'll
busybody this week.
And we'll talk about in the next episode. We'll talk about everything we. Hopefully we got to do something.
Well, we'll definitely recap on some spring break time, and of course that starts leading into what we'll be doing this summer, so keep it. We'll definitely be doing our big summer highlight episode, I'm sure, coming up in the more recent months.
And on our next episode, we will have to go into a little Geek Father critique of, we'll follow, even if it's falling on the lines of GUI, we're going to be much less nastier. much less drunk. Maybe. It is spring break.
We'll see.
Well, drunkish.
See. Yeah.
Yeah, drunkish. We're
Depends
go
on what night we record.
Yeah, because I definitely want to talk about Godzilla vs. Kong that just dropped.
Yes.
And the kids' reaction to it. And by the way, superb film. From one geek father to another, watch that motherfucker.
We've started it, so I may even finish it tonight, now that you bring it up. But we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But guys, thank you very much. We appreciate everything. Again, please continue if you had already started to still follow Team Kimber. I'll post whatever similar links I can and all the great charity works that we do. Of course, if you I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, if you go to TeePublic, we are still contributing everything we get through TeePublic to the Holly Fund. Because even though jobs are still filtering in and stuff like that, we still have friends that we're making sure can keep a roof over their head and groceries in their on their table.
The smaller businesses still need your help.
Yep, absolutely, guys. So all the great shows we mentioned, Flagship, but all the shows. I know Beautiful Disasters just dropped a new one. From the Mouth of Madness have been doing great with staying consistent, along with the Bruce and his pre-cap show. And so, guys, thank you. One tribe, one love. To all of our transgender friends and family, we love you. You know the door is always open if you need anything. So just don't forget, join us.
Or cry.
My name is Amy Bogard.
And I'm Mike the Hobbit.
And we are the hosts of Deeply Upsetting, where we use our expertise to answer your most upsetting hypothetical quandaries, such as, what non-winged animal deserves wings?
And what body part deserves a secret mouth?
Which cryptid is the worst roommate?
These questions and more that plague you will be answered on Deeply Upsetting, available anywhere you get your podcasts and at GUIPodcast.com.
GUIPodcast.com.